The studio lights glow softly across the iconic Jeopardy stage. Everything looks calm, familiar, almost routine. But for the contestants standing behind those podiums, nothing feels routine at all. This is the moment they prepared for. Months of studying, years of watching, and now one category waits on the board, quietly inviting attention. You're my soda pop. It sounds playful, almost harmless, but anyone who's watched this show knows better on Jeopardy. Even the friendliest sounding categories can hide surprises. The host turns to the board. Soda pop for 800. A quick breath. A button press. Tom rings in. You can almost feel the tension in that fraction of a second, the calculation happening in his mind. The gamble of certainty versus speed. He speaks. What is Jolt? There's a brief pause, the kind that stretches just long enough to make you doubt yourself. Then the confirmation comes. Correct. Jolt Cola. The high caffeine classic. A drink that once promised all the sugar and twice the buzz. And just like that, the board responds. Jolt Cola is back. The audience murmurs softly. It's a small moment, but it lands. Tom nods, composed but clearly energized, because now he controls the board. Soda pop for 600. Again, the lights blink. Again, Tom doesn't hesitate. What's Mountain Dew? This time, the answer feels even faster, almost automatic. You got it. Mountain Dew, the neon-colored staple of late nights, gaming marathons, and bold marketing. A soda so recognizable that just the name brings an image to mind. Tom's confidence grows, and that's when the category shifts. The host smiles slightly. You're my soda pop for 1,000. The highest value on the board. The risk. The reward. Scott buzzes in. There's a noticeable pause before he answers, not because he doesn't know, but because he knows this one matters. What is Manzanita Sol? Another beat, then the words every contestant hopes to hear. Good for 1,000. The studio energy changes. Because big clues do that. They reset the room. Manzanita Sol. A crisp apple soda with roots far deeper than many expect. Not flashy, not loud, but memorable. Scott exhales, almost imperceptibly. And just like that, the game moves on. But this wasn't the end of the category. Not even close. Back to the board. Soda pop for 400. Amy, who has been waiting patiently, finally sees her opening. She buzzes in with purpose. What is Squirt? Correct. The sharp, grapefruit-flavored soda that's been a cult favorite for decades. A refreshing choice, and it puts Amy on the board with a solid start. She immediately goes for the lowest value, a classic strategy to build momentum. Let's take soda pop for 200. The clue appears. Amy rings in again, quick as a flash. What is Sundrop? The answer comes back instantly. Yes. Sundrop, the citrus soda with a caffeine kick that often flies under the radar, but has a fiercely loyal following, especially in the American South. Now, with all the other clues cleared, only one remains. You're my soda pop for 1,200. This is a daily double. The music swells. Tom found it. This is his chance to pull away from the others. The tension is palpable. He can wager up to his current score. After a moment of thought, he makes a bold move, wagering a significant amount. The clue is revealed. This grape-flavored soft drink, created in 1913, shares its name with a popular brand of bubblegum. The camera zooms in on Tom. You can see the gears turning. The name is on the tip of his tongue. He takes a breath. What is New Grape? A long silence hangs in the air. The host looks at the judges, then back at Tom. That is correct. A wave of relief washes over Tom as the audience applauds. New Grape, a soda with over a century of history, its story intertwined with the very fabric of American soft drink culture. From the high-octane rush of Jolt Cola to the subtle charm of Manzanita Sol and the deep-cut history of New Grape, this single category revealed a fascinating world. It showed us that behind every can of soda, there's a story, a memory, and a dedicated group of fans keeping its legacy alive. These aren't just sugary drinks. They're cultural artifacts, each with a unique place in our collective memory. It makes you wonder what other forgotten favorites are out there, just waiting for their moment to pop back into the spotlight. What's your favorite soda that nobody seems to remember? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the things we love. You're watching Jeopardy, and the category is soda pop for 400. Allegra buzzes in. There's this incredible calm about her, no rush, no hint of second guessing. She says, "What is Welch's?" And she's right. It's a simple brand, a name we all know. We mostly think of their grape juice, right? But they're right there in the soda aisle too. It's moments like these that perfectly capture the magic of Jeopardy. It isn't just about obscure trivia. It's about recognition, about connection. Every correct answer pulls something from your own memory, a taste, a smell, maybe a childhood barbecue. Then the final clue of the category pops up, soda pop for 200. It's Tom this time. He buzzes in quick and sharp. What's Sprite? Short, clean, confident. He's right, of course. And just like that, the entire category is cleared in less than a minute. But think about what was packed into that minute. The risk of buzzing in, the relief of a correct answer, the shifting momentum between contestants. That's the real genius of the show. Even the simplest categories tell a compelling story. You can almost feel the contestants take a collective breath, their minds resetting for whatever challenge comes next. But before the next clue appears, the whole energy of the show starts to shift. The camera pulls back just a little. That familiar end of the episode feeling starts to build. A voice says, "Hey, thanks for watching." It's so simple and direct, but it carries the weight of the entire episode. Every category, every clue, every single answer, it all leads to this moment of connection with the audience. Then comes the gentle invitation, not a demand. Click on the subscribe button. It's followed by, and don't miss a moment. The words might fade, but the feeling stays with you. Because whether it's a high-stakes daily double or a light-hearted category about soda, Jeopardy has this unique ability to transform ordinary knowledge into something truly memorable. And sometimes all it takes is a simple question about soda pop to remind you why the show is so special. But what makes these moments stick with us isn't just the answers themselves. It's the rhythm, the pacing, that shared experience of watching along, guessing from your couch, and feeling that little spark of joy when you know the answer too. And that's what keeps millions of us coming back night after night. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next breakdown. Have you ever been watching a game show, maybe something like Jeopardy, and a really simple category comes up? Something like, say, sodas. And you think to yourself, oh, this is an easy one. But then you stop and really watch what happens next. It's actually fascinating. When you step back and look at that category like that, something interesting emerges. None of the clues are super complicated. You don't need a PhD in history or a degree in advanced chemistry to figure them out. And yet, every single answer feels incredibly satisfying when it's revealed. Why is that? It's because these simple clues tap into something much deeper, our shared cultural memory. Take a clue about Jolt Cola. It's not just a question about a fizzy drink. It's a throwback to an era of excess energy and bold promises, something many of us remember with a smile. Or Mountain Dew, that name alone carries decades of branding, a whole attitude, an entire vibe. Sprite isn't just a lemon lime soda. It's the very idea of refreshment distilled into a single word. Even a less common name like Manzanita Sol brings a sense of regional identity and cultural flavor into the spotlight. Jeopardy does this on purpose, and it's brilliant. The show gently reminds us that knowledge isn't only found in textbooks or lecture halls. Sometimes it lives on the shelves of our local grocery store, in the colorful buttons of a vending machine, or in the memory of a late-night craving. Watching the contestants navigate that familiar, everyday landscape is quietly compelling. You can see the human element in every little detail. Look at a contestant like Tom, how his posture is relaxed. He's confident, comfortable with the rhythm of the game. He's in the zone. Then you see someone like Scott taking that measured, calculated pause before buzzing in for the $1,000 clue. You can almost feel the gears turning. Or Allegra, with her steady, unwavering delivery. These micro moments are what make the show so captivating. They humanize the competition and turn it from a simple quiz into a relatable story. That's why a seemingly straightforward category about soda can hold our attention so tightly. The real tension isn't about whether someone knows the name of a soft drink. It's about something much more fundamental: certainty. It's about the internal battle each contestant faces. Will they trust their memory? Will they be quick enough on the buzzer? Will the answer they've locked in actually be the right one? Every clue, no matter how simple, asks the same silent question of both the contestant and the viewer at home. And every correct response delivers the same shared, satisfying feeling of relief. It's a little moment we all get to experience together. This is the secret sauce of a great game show. It's about expert pacing. It's about creating content that sticks in your mind, that keeps you leaning forward. It's the reason we don't change the channel, even when the topic seems almost trivial. Because it's never really just about the soda. It's about the very human drama of knowledge, memory, and confidence playing out right before our eyes. And that's a story we'll always want to see the end of. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this little deep dive, consider subscribing for more thoughts on media, culture, and what makes them tick. See you next time. From a production standpoint, categories like this serve a purpose. They balance the board. After a heavy history category or a deep dive into complex science, something familiar, something almost universally known, resets the viewer's attention. It lowers the cognitive load without lowering engagement. And this is a technique that Jeopardy has absolutely mastered over the decades. The show is a finely tuned machine designed to hold your attention from the first clue to Final Jeopardy. Think about how a category like this one moves. Notice how quickly it progresses. There are no long, drawn-out explanations. No dramatic pauses that kill the momentum. It's just question, answer, confirmation. This rapid-fire speed keeps the energy high, keeps you on the edge of your seat, trying to buzz in from your couch before the contestants do. It's exhilarating. And yet, amidst this fast pace, the host's delivery remains steady, calm, and grounding. That voice of authority and consistency is crucial. It builds a sense of trust with the audience. Viewers know what to expect: a fair game, clear rules, and a rhythm that feels both challenging and comforting. That reliable expectation is a huge part of why we keep tuning in night after night. Even the way many of us creators end our videos borrows from this playbook. We say, "Thanks for watching." It's a genuine moment of appreciation for your time. Then, click on the subscribe button. It's a clear, simple call to action, a next step, and finally, don't miss a moment. This is a promise of continuity, a hint of what's to come. It's a simple formula, but it works. It's effective because it makes the audience feel included in a community, not just sold a product. That feeling of connection and belonging matters more than any single clue, any single video topic. It's about building a relationship. So let's look closer at how this category works in practice. The questions are straightforward, often based on common knowledge or pop culture. This allows a broader range of viewers to play along successfully. It creates this sense of shared experience. You might not know the capital of Kyrgyzstan, but you probably know the lead singer of that famous band. This accessibility is a deliberate choice. It's a masterclass in audience management. By mixing the highbrow with the instantly recognizable, Jeopardy ensures that everyone has a moment to shine, a moment to feel smart. This variety prevents viewer fatigue. If every category were about particle physics, the audience would shrink dramatically. But by sprinkling in these lighter, faster categories, the show keeps its broad appeal. The design of the board itself is a visual representation of this strategy. The categories are laid out, offering a promise of diverse topics. As the clues are revealed, the board empties, creating a sense of progress and accomplishment. We are moving through the game together. The sound design also plays a key role: the buzzers, the thinking music for Final Jeopardy, the sound of the clues being revealed. Every element is crafted to maintain a specific rhythm and emotional tone. It's a delicate dance between intellectual challenge and pure entertainment. The show respects its audience's intelligence, but never forgets that it is, at its core, a game meant to be enjoyed. These seemingly simple categories are the secret ingredient that makes the entire recipe work. They are the connective tissue that holds the more demanding segments together, creating a seamless and endlessly watchable experience. It reminds us that great content isn't just about what you present, but how you present it. It's about pace, tone, and building a consistent, trustworthy relationship with your audience. It's the art of making something complex feel effortless. And that is a lesson we can all learn from. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. Have you ever found yourself just casually watching a trivia show, maybe while you're making dinner or just scrolling on your phone? It's on in the background, you're not really paying close attention, and you only catch a few questions here and there. But then all of a sudden, a category pops up that just clicks. Something like 80s movie quotes or famous fast food slogans, and you know the answer. You might even shout it at the screen before the contestant can even buzz in. That feeling, that little jolt of, I knew that, is exactly what we're going to talk about today. It's not an accident. It's a brilliant piece of television design. Let's take a category I saw recently. You're My Soda Pop. The clues were all about different soft drinks. Simple, right? You don't need a PhD in history or a deep knowledge of quantum physics. You just need to have, at some point in your life, walked down the beverage aisle of a grocery store. This is what we call a moment of shared recognition. It's a universal touchstone. And that's precisely why these types of categories are so powerful and are placed so strategically within a show as structure. Think about the flow of a typical game show. There are peaks of high-stakes tension and valleys of slower-paced gameplay. It's during those valleys, those moments when a viewer's attention is most likely to wander, that a show is at risk of losing them. Maybe the current category is 19th century European monarchs, and you're thinking, well, this isn't for me. Your phone starts looking a lot more interesting. But then, right when you're about to disengage, the show throws you a lifeline. A category about soda or candy bars or TV theme songs. Instead of letting your attention drift, the show actively pulls you back in, invites you to participate on your own terms. It says, hey, you belong here too. This game isn't just for the experts. Suddenly, you're not just a passive observer watching someone else play a game. You're an active participant. You're testing your own knowledge, celebrating your correct answers, and feeling a direct connection to the action on screen. You're invested. This is where the magic really happens. The power of these categories lies in memory. And memory is deeply, deeply personal. When you correctly identify the slogan for a burger chain, you're not just recalling a piece of data. You're tapping into a network of personal experiences. Maybe it reminds you of road trips with your family as a kid, or late-night study sessions in college fueled by that exact brand. The answer isn't just a fact. It's tied to a feeling, a place, a moment in your own life. Game show producers understand this psychological connection. They know that by triggering these personal memories, they can forge a much stronger bond with their audience. Answering a question about a complex historical event might make you feel smart for a moment. But answering a question that reminds you of your childhood creates an emotional resonance that lasts much longer. It makes the show feel like it's for you. It understands you. This is how passive viewers are transformed into loyal fans. It's not just about watching people win money. It's about the shared experience. It's the feeling of community. Even when you're watching alone in your living room, you feel seen. You feel included. The show becomes more than just a program. It becomes a ritual, a comfortable and familiar part of your routine. You tune in not just to see who wins, but to have those little moments of personal victory, to shout answers at the screen and feel that satisfying rush of knowing you were right. So the next time you're rewatching a trivia show and a seemingly easy or fluffy category comes up, take a moment to appreciate the genius behind it. It's not just filler. It's a carefully crafted invitation. It's the show reaching through the screen, tapping you on the shoulder, and saying, come on, play along with us. It's the secret ingredient that keeps us coming back week after week, ready for our next moment of shared recognition. Thanks so much for watching and thinking about this with me. If you enjoy deep dives into the psychology of media and entertainment, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'd love to hear in the comments about a time a trivia category made you feel like a genius. See you in the next video. For contestants, these categories offer something else entirely. It's about momentum. It's a chance to build confidence, to stack up points, to regain control of the game. You can see it in Tom's early buzzes, that flicker of determination in his eyes. You can hear it in Scott's decisive, firm answer, no hesitation at all. And you can feel it in Allegra's calm precision, a steady hand guiding her through the board. Each correct response reinforces their presence on that stage. It's like they're saying, I belong here, I can win this, and that confidence, it's contagious. Once it starts to build, it doesn't just stay in one category. It spills over. It carries them into the next round, the next clue, the next daily double. That right there is the real strategy. It's not just about knowing the answers. It's about knowing when to push your advantage, when to be aggressive, and when to let the game come to you. This seemingly simple soda category, it's not just about fizzy drinks. It's a tool. It quietly supports that entire arc of a player's journey from nervous contestant to dominant champion. Think about it from the contestant's perspective. You've just come out of a brutal category, maybe something you weren't strong in. You lost a few $1,000s, your rhythm is off, and the other players are gaining ground. You're feeling the pressure. Then a category like soda pop appears. It might seem trivial, but it's a lifeline. It's familiar territory. The answers are likely single words or short phrases. This lowers the cognitive load. You're not trying to recall a complex historical date or a long literary title. You're just thinking about brands you see every day. This simplicity allows a player to reset. They can get a few quick buzzes in, get back on the board, and hear that satisfying sound of a correct answer. Each buzz is a small victory. The first one breaks the slump. The second one builds a rhythm. By the third, you can see their posture change. They're leaning in, more focused. The self-doubt starts to fade, replaced by a renewed sense of control. This is the psychological warfare of the game, played out one clue at a time. The soda category becomes a springboard. It's a deep breath before the plunge into a much tougher subject. It's the confidence booster that fuels a potential runaway game. And for the viewer, it creates a fascinating narrative. We see the shift happen in real time. We watch a player like Tom, who was struggling just moments before, suddenly find his footing. His buzzing becomes quicker, his answers sharper. He's not just answering questions anymore. He's controlling the board, dictating the pace. He's choosing the next category from a position of strength, not desperation. This is what separates good players from great champions. They understand the flow of the game. They recognize these seemingly easy categories not as rest stops, but as launching pads. It's a masterful piece of game design. The writers and producers know exactly what they're doing. By peppering in these accessible topics, they're not just testing knowledge. They're testing nerve, strategy, and adaptability. They're giving players the rope to either pull themselves up or get tangled. You see, the best players don't just see soda. They see an opportunity. They see 5 chances to rebuild their score, steal the momentum, and put immense psychological pressure on their opponents. It's a subtle, brilliant layer to the game that often goes unnoticed. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. You start to watch for these moments in every match. So the next time you see a category that seems a little too easy, a little too straightforward, pay close attention. Watch the contestants. See who uses it to their advantage. Who recognizes it as a strategic tool. Because it's in these quiet, unassuming moments that games are often won or lost. It's not always about the final high-value clue. Sometimes it's about the humble soda pop that changed the entire trajectory of the game. It's the hidden engine of confidence, and it's what makes watching so compelling. This dynamic plays out over and over. A player could be an expert in 18th century French literature, but if they can't get their confidence up in the breakfast cereals category, They might never get a chance to show off their true expertise. The game is a constant battle for rhythm. Losing that rhythm means you're always a fraction of a second too slow on the buzzer. You second guess yourself, you hesitate. Meanwhile, the player who just ran the soda category is buzzing in before the clue is even finished. They're in the zone. Their brain is firing on all cylinders. This is why a balanced knowledge base is so crucial. It's not just about depth in one area. It's about having enough breadth to navigate the entire board. It's about being able to find your footing no matter where the game takes you. And these everyday categories are the great equalizers. They give everyone a fighting chance to get in the game, to feel the thrill of a correct answer, and to build the momentum needed to tackle the giants. It's a beautiful, intricate dance of knowledge, speed, and pure psychological grit. And it's all happening right there on stage, hidden in plain sight. Thanks so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like and subscribe for more. Have you ever wondered why we love game shows so much? Is it the thrill of the big win, the dazzling lights, the charismatic host? Maybe, but I think it's something deeper, something that connects us all. Let's talk about a moment from Jeopardy. That perfectly captures this idea. It wasn't a high-stakes final question or a mind-bending scientific category. It was a category called You're My Soda Pop. Simple, right? The answers were just names of popular soft drinks. One contestant, a librarian named Amy, swept the category. And watching her, something clicked. What made that moment so special? It wasn't the difficulty. In fact, it was the opposite. Most of us watching at home probably knew the answers too. We knew Coca-Cola, we knew Pepsi, we knew Sprite. And that's the secret sauce of a show like Jeopardy! It's not just about showcasing incredible intellect. It's about celebrating shared knowledge. It's the joy of recognition, that little spark you feel when you shout the answer at the screen just before the contestant does. It's a moment of connection, a reminder that we all share this vast pool of cultural information. Think about it. Our brains are like treasure chests filled with all sorts of things we've picked up over the years. Some of it is academic, learned from books in classrooms, but so much of it is just stuff. Brand names, song lyrics, movie quotes, the jingle from that one commercial you haven't seen in 20 years. Jeopardy! Understands this. It places value on both the obscure historical fact and the name of a popular soda. It tells us that all knowledge is valid. That knowing the capital of Burkina Faso is impressive, but so is knowing the ingredients of a Big Mac. That soda pop category wasn't just fluff. It was a mirror reflecting our collective experience. For a brief moment, we weren't just watching a game show. We were participating in a cultural ritual. Amy wasn't just a contestant. She was one of us tapping into that same database of everyday information we all carry around. Her confidence was our confidence. Her success felt, in a small way, like our success. This is what makes the show so enduring. It's a celebration of the human mind in all its weird and wonderful glory. It finds the extraordinary in the ordinary. So, in the end, your My Soda Pop isn't memorable because of its difficulty. It's memorable because of its familiarity. Because it reminds us that knowledge is everywhere, woven into the very fabric of our daily lives. That even everyday items, the things we see on supermarket shelves, can become moments of triumph. And that's why Jeopardy endures, not because it's hard, but because it's human. So the next time you see a lighthearted category appear on the board, pay attention. Because beneath the bubbles and the branding, there's something deeper happening. It's connection. It's recognition. And it's the quiet, simple joy of knowing the answer. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, consider subscribing for more thoughts on media and culture.